Hey guys, it's Vara. So today I wanted to go over the Dominaria spoilers and a couple of cards that I am super excited for. Now, unfortunately, a lot of Dominaria, majority actually of it, was spoiled last week. Not the way Wizards of the Coast wanted it to go, so that was kind of a failure for them. But I do think most of these cards are actually pretty good. I think it's more of a lore set than an actual playability set. I do think it's going to be super fun for sealed, but I'm not sure how it's going to have an effect on standard. But I do know there are quite a couple good cards that are going to affect modern and legacy, so I am going to get right into a couple of select cards that I do want to talk about. So the first card that I really want to talk about is Karn, Scion of Urza. He is a 4 colorless, 5 loyalty body. He is a legendary planeswalker, and he reads +1, reveal the top 2 cards of your library. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand and exile the other with a silver counter on it. Another ability is a -1, put a card you own with the silver counter on it from exile into your hand, and his -2 ability is create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. That was a lot to say. With this, creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. He is a great card. He will go right with Karn Liberated. I was super excited to see his ability. I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. That is a super good card and a super good ability. I think they really did it good for that card. Another one, which isn't as good, but it's pretty good, is Merfolk Trickster. It is a 2 blue, 2/2 body. It is a creature Merfolk wizard, and it has flash. When Merfolk Trickster enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. It loses all abilities until end of turn. So it is super good, but Merfolk aren't really that good in standard right now, but I do definitely think this card will be played in a legacy Merfolk deck. I'm definitely going to add 2 to 4 of those into my legacy Merfolk deck. I know that one for sure. We are seeing another Chandra. Her name is Bold Pyromancer. She is an okay card. I was unfortunately pretty meh to see another Chandra, but I do think she's going to be okay, but I don't think she's really going to be that good because Torch of Defiance is leaving. I don't think she's going to replace Torch of Defiance, but some people do, so I honestly guess we will see. She is a 2 colorless, 2 red. So she's of course, a legendary planeswalker. Her +1 is add 2 red mana. Chandra, Bold Pyromancer, deals 2 damage to target player. Okay, that's pretty good. -3, Chandra, Bold Pyromancer deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Okay. Again, fairly good. And the -7 is Chandra, Bold Pyromancer deals 10 damage to target player and each creature and planeswalker they control. So I do think this is a pretty good card. I just don't see it being a huge staple. Now, it is sitting at $13 right now as a mythic at Dominaria. I do think it will be played in standard, but I don't think it's going to have a huge impact on standard. But a lot of people disagree with me on that. So honestly, I guess only time will tell what it's going to actually do. But I do think it's a good card. We are seeing a reprint of Llanowar Elves and Llanowar Scout in standard. Now, this is a pretty big deal in Dominaria, so we are seeing this as a reprint in Masters 25 as well. We are seeing the Elves reprinted in Masters 25, so I'm not sure why it's in standard and Masters 25. That's 2 reprints in like a 2-month span. That's a reprint a month. That's pretty big, but it wasn't really an expensive card, so I guess it didn't matter anyway. So of course, Llanowar Elves is 1 green. It is a creature 1/1 body, and it is tap, add 1 green. And Llanowar Scout is 1 green, 1 colorless. You tap the creature. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, and it is a 1/3 body. So they're of course really good cards. They're gonna be relevant in standard. One card that I am super excited for, well, the next 2 are actually the ones I'm most excited for, and those are Dampening Sphere and Mox Ember. Yes, you have heard it. We get another Mox. So it is a 0 cost, of course, legendary artifact with tap, add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. Now, of course, another Mox card. This artwork better be gorgeous. I don't know who's doing the art. We haven't seen it yet, but holy crap, I'm super excited to see yet another Mox in addition to the others we have, and Dampening Sphere. Now, this is one card that honestly I think is going to be a staple in Legacy. I think this is such a great card. Now, it is a 2 cost artifact. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces produces colorless instead of any other type and amount. Holy crap, that's big. But the next one's even bigger. Each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. So if my opponent casts 4 spells, they have to add 1 more for each spell they cost. So they have to add 4 plus their base cost. That is huge. That is going to shut down a lot of decks. I do see this being a very big staple in Legacy and maybe even Modern. Please give me your opinion on that. Is it just me that's super excited for it? And the last card that I have to talk about is Urza's Tomb. Now, this one is pretty cool. We did see Karn in the Dominaria artwork holding some kind of book, but now we know it was Urza's Tomb. It is a 2 colorless artifact with a 3 and a tap. Draw a card, then discard a card unless you exile a historic card from your graveyard. Now, artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. So this is a pretty good card. It's not as great because I don't really see historic decks being a huge thing. I have slowly been looking at them and I do think they're going to be too slow in standard. But for draft, I think hell yeah, this is going to be a great archetype, you could say, because they're a new type, you know what I'm saying. But I do think they're unfortunately too slow for standard play, but I do think they're going to have their spot somewhere. And we are seeing some land reprints that we saw in Innistrad, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Innistrad, right? Maybe not. I don't know if they've been reprinted since. Probably. Sorry. Clifftop Retreat, Hinterland Harbor, Isolated Chapel, Sulphur Falls, and Woodland Cemetery. These are pretty good lands. So please let me know your opinions on Dominaria. What cards do you think are going to break the game or make the game? Let me know what your opinion is. In my last video, I am doing a Lightseekers giveaway, so make sure to check out that video. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed and a subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to talk to you guys again really soon.